Hey guys, so I was messing around with my dual rectifier and I came across a sound that sounded very much like Master of Puppets, and that was kind of my goal, was to try to get it to sound like Master of Puppets. But yeah, I think I've come pretty close. So basically what I'm doing right here, and actually before I say anything about the amp, so you set it to vintage, but the first thing I'm running through is actually an overdrive pedal right here. If it'll focus. Yeah, so I'm running through this Digitech Screamin blues, and what I like about this pedal is that instead of having a tone knob, just one tone knob, I can adjust how much low end I have and how much high end I have. So I'm boosting the level up just a little bit. I don't have it all the way up. A lot of people do that, but for this particular pedal, turning the level all the way up is just way overkill. So yeah, level about right there. There we go, right there. Low's about right there. Yeah, I mean, you guys can see that, but yeah, those are my pedal settings. And I'm also going through a noise suppressor because this particular guitar that I'm using is very noisy. It must have like a grounding issue or something, because I'm using it pretty heavily right now, as you can tell by those settings. And that just kind of gets rid of some of the hum and some of the background noise from the guitar. So, let's see, there we go. So back to the amp. I'm on vintage, channel 2 vintage, 50 watts. You can do it on 100 watts too, it doesn't really matter. 100 watts is just a little bit louder. You can, like for bigger areas, for my bedroom, 50 watts is perfect because I can push the amp a little harder without it like shattering windows or whatever. So, gain, sitting at about 1 or 2 o'clock. And these settings can be slightly different depending on your guitar, your pickups, your amp even. Amps can sound different from each other. So this is just kind of the ballpark, and then you can adjust the settings if you think it needs more treble or whatever. So I've got treble at about 3 o'clock, mids at about 9, bass at about 9. Presence is very low, it's like barely on at all. That's just because these amps are kind of fizzy, and turning down the presence kind of takes care of that, and I'm kind of making up for it with treble. So yeah, these are actually pretty close to the settings Metallica used on their Mark II C+ amps. Lots of high end, scooping a lot of bass and mids out. I'm not sure what they used for their presence control, but they did run their gain a lot hotter, but this amp gets really fizzy if you do that. So I decided to leave the gain low and boost it with an overdrive. They actually didn't use overdrive pedals on Master of Puppets. Then if I look at the back of the amp real quick, I'm on bold power and silicone diodes. I'm using 6L6 tubes, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm in 50 watts. So, and then I'll show my guitar real quick just to go over the specs of that. So this is actually an eBay DIY Les Paul kit. And if I can get that to focus. There we go. So it's got a Seymour Duncan SH4 in the bridge right there. Yeah. So that's the specs on that guitar. This is what I'm going to be using. So, maybe I'll turn this over so you can see me playing. And I'm running this through my audio interface into Reaper. So, I'll pan this camera over here. And play some Metallica riffs. I just realized I'm not recording on Reaper yet. Alright, so some Metallica riffs. I So, yeah, pretty good tone, and excuse the sloppy playing. I wasn't really warmed up, my arm's kind of sore right now. But anyway, this isn't a playing technique video, this is a tone video. So, yeah, I think it's pretty close to the Master of Puppets sound, and it even sounds better when you quad track the guitars. And I'll do that at the end of the video. I'll put some clips of the guitars quad tracked with some backing tracks. But yeah, I love this amp. It sounds awesome. Especially like for this type of stuff, you can pretty much get any sound you want out of this amp. Like a lot of people say it's just a metal amp, but I mean, of course we're using it in a metal setting here, but it's definitely not just confined to metal. I've played punk on it. I've played like classic rock, blues. I can get pretty much any sound I want out of this amp. You just have to know how to use the settings and how the amp works. But anyway, I hope this is helpful to anyone looking for a Metallica type sound. And for like the other albums, just kind of mess with the settings a little bit. I got a pretty good Ride the Lightning tone, and I might do another video about that too. I got a pretty good tone for that with pretty much the same settings on raw. So, and of course Ride the Lightning has a bit heavier mid presence to it. but, I mean, yeah, you can pretty much get whatever, like, Injustice for All, probably turn down the mids even more, maybe turn up some treble, add some presence, make it kind of fizzier sounding, but yeah, Metallica on a dual rectifier. So yeah, I'll get those quad track clips up there right now.